We've had now over 30,000 people massacred, and tensions on the borders dramatically increased, increased flow of Al-Qaeda and other radical Islamists into Syria. Everything that people warned about if we intervened are now taking place because we didn't intervene. And by the way, my intervention means a safe zone and arms and equipment to those who are fighting against Damascus, not American troop boots on the ground.
King Abdullah is on the record as saying he worries about guns going into the wrong hands. He's talked about a Pandora's box. People who are much closer to the situation say that shouldn't happen.
Well, I know King Abdullah, and I know that he is very concerned about the effect of all of this on Jordan, the influx of hundreds of thousands of refugees. I know that all the countries in the region cry out for American leadership, which is totally missing, and I know that the situation continues to deteriorate, again, including the massacre of some 30,000 people while we sit by and watch. I don't think that is acceptable, nor the American history.
Some would say, Senator McCain, there's a different message coming from the region. The terrible assassination of your ambassador in Libya, the attack today on a security official at your embassy in Sana'a, that the U.S. is becoming very unpopular and it's losing ground in the Middle East.
Well, the fact is, in Libya we are popular, and so are the British and the French, because they were assisted in their fight against Gaddafi. The fact is, they had an election, a free election, that rejected Islamist candidates, and by 2/3 voted against that kind of regime. They're very grateful to the United States, and they have unsecured borders, they have a weak government, and Islamists infiltrated into the country. And what our administration, the most incredible thing that I've ever seen, called it a spontaneous demonstration caused by a video, when we now all know it was an act of terror by an Al-Qaeda affiliated organization. One of the really gross misrepresentations to the American people that I have ever observed.
But so many opinion polls in the United States say that America, after two very costly wars in Afghanistan and in Iraq, and at a time of great economic pressure in the United States, that Americans don't want another war. They don't want their leaders concentrating on countries far away.
There were other times in our history, for example, the Korean War, where the American people were very opposed to it, and we had a president named Truman who kept us in. And if the Chinese and North Koreans had conquered the Korean Peninsula, the world would be very different. The American people are war-weary, as you say, and they're very war-weary, but I don't think when it properly explained to them that we would be sending in equipment and help them organize rather than sending boots on the ground. I think most Americans are appalled by the slaughter and massacre that's going on. And again, it requires leaders to explain that to them. The president has said nothing, and even about the massacre, and all he has said is that we will withdraw from that part of the world, which sends the message of weakness.